Okay, can you hear me okay? All right, great. Well, thanks. My name is Palmer Holt. I'm president of Paragon Communications. We're a North Carolina communications agency working with Martin. We're working on this particular project. I'd like to thank you all for coming out and welcome you to this press conference. What we'd like to do today, this is basically, we call this the Clemson O-Table press conference. What we want to do today is introduce Tiger Nation to this table that was made out of an old red oak that came out of Memorial Stadium. It's been turned into a magnificent table. It has its roots in the stadium. Part of this, we're just trying to find out find a home for this table and what's the best place for it. So we're sort of asking, Clemson alumni, football fans, what they think should happen with this table. We'd love to sort of see it end up maybe here back at Clemson. So what I want to do is introduce the designer and maker of the table, Curtis Martin, to you. Let him tell you a little bit about his background, how he came to be able to create this table, and give you some of the backstory, and then we'll take questions from you. So Curtis, would you like to come up and tell us your story and the story of the table?
Sure. My name is Curtis Martin. I am a furniture maker by profession. I custom build furniture and restore antiques in Wilmington, North Carolina. I have a degree from NC State Industrial Engineering and Furniture Manufacturing and Management. And this table came to me through a friend who was a Clemson graduate and alumni. And he said, I have this tree. I said, well, tell me about it. So I love old wood and I work with it all the time. He said, well, I cut it out of the stadium. It was the last tree in the stadium. And we think it was between 75 and 100 years old. And it was in the corner below the scoreboard side of the stadium. So when he told me about it, I said, well, what are you going to do with it? He said, well, I bought it and I've got the trunks, but they're massive. They're 4 feet in diameter at the base. I said, well, I'm very interested. I would like to be an investor. So I got involved then, but I said, if we do that, I want to be involved in how you're going to maintain it and take care of it. So we got a professional wood cutter to cut it, then we got a professional dryer to dry it. It took 2.5 years to dry, air dry, and then it went into a kiln for 8 weeks. And then I got it. For a year I worked on it because I had to do my regular job, custom building and doing things for other clients, and this was just kind of side work. So I worked on the table for about a year at my house and on the side and at the shop some. And we got ready to put it on the market and bring it to Clemson and show it off, and COVID hit. So we had to put it off an entire year, and we're back here now, 2021, to try and promote the table and show it to people and see what we have. I wanted to preserve the table and do it justice. So when I bought into the table, I wanted the 2 center pieces and the biggest log. And that's the bottom part of the tree. In the second picture over there, you'll see where we cut it. They cut it right around 9 feet. And I had to trim off a little bit here and there. So this table is about 8'7". Each table, there's 2 of them actually, together. And they bolt together. But they're book matched, meaning they are sister pieces and they came off the tree. And they actually come together just like you would cut cheese and bring 2 pieces together. And when you get a closer look, you can tell where the grain comes together. We really want to find a home for the table, and I want it to go to somebody that really appreciates what they have here, whether it be Clemson or a great alumni. Anyway, we're just trying to introduce it to the world and let them see what they think, and give us some idea of where we want to go with it.
Let me ask a question, Curtis. What are the options you say?
You step up to the box office hall up there.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask.
How long the process was it to a table like this?
If I did it nonstop, professionally, probably 2 months. From making all the parts and pieces. Several people were involved. I had to get someone with a very large CNC machine just to level it, because this won't go through an average planer or joiner. You have to have machinery to cut it. So it was a giant CNC machine, and he took time, painstakingly passed a router over it and over it and over it until he leveled it on both sides. And and that's how we got it flat. The cracks came in the drying process as the tree shrunk, it had some cracks. So I put butterflies in it to stabilize those. The walnut you see, they're decorative and they're pretty, but they're also they're about an inch thick, and they go down in and hold the tree together. And then the orange epoxy, of course, was a no-brainer. We had to do it for Clemson. And then we put the tiger paws in, and also the plaques to tell about the tree. What do you hope? If I did it for full time, I'd be probably about 2 months to do it, start to finish.
I guess, what are you hoping when people see this? I mean, obviously, even to the roots, or in the stadium, literally the roots were in the stadium.
Right. The university hired their tree person who works on the campus to remove the tree in 2015, and that's what he did. And as he was taking it down, my friend was here and saw it and said, "What are you going to do with that?" And he said, "I got to get rid of it." And he said, "I'll buy it." So he paid a lot of money for it, and then I became an investor, and that's how we came about it. And I just wanted to make it something that somebody would like to have. I mean, I went to NC State. If it was at my campus, I know I'd love to have it. But I don't have any ties to Clemson, but I do have ties to furniture. Let's see. What else can I tell you?
I guess just talk about, the history. I mean, this thing was sitting in the stadium for.
Why was the tree removed from the stadium?
I've heard different things, and it's all speculation. The university just hired their guy to take it down, and I did speak with him, the man that cut the tree down. My friend bought the tree from him and took it to Asheville, and that's where all the other work was done on it for 2 years. All the other pieces, there were about 20 pieces, slabs coming out of this tree, and all those other individual pieces went to Clemson alumni and friends of his that were also investors, and they bought the pieces back then, and they took them home and worked on them and made their own furniture. So as far as I know, this is the only one that's going to be on the market for sale.
You said that, this came out of NC State, that you'll want a piece of this, but just how meaningful do you think this piece will be for Clemson alumni or just somebody that has attachments to Clemson?
Well, if you know the stadium, you know how big it is, and you know this tree shaded a lot of seats down there. And it looked to me like a very strong, healthy tree. And for whatever reason they removed it, I'm not sure. But to be the last tree of a 100-year-old oak in the stadium, I think that would have a lot of meaning, especially with the powerhouse football program they have here. I just think someone would be lucky to have this in their possession if they have a tie to Clemson.
What do you see as the best uses for a table like this? It comes in 2 parts, right?
Yeah, my thought was to make it a boardroom table. That's why it measured about 17 feet 3 inches right now. But it can be broken apart and be made into 2 tables. So you can actually get 2 for 1. So you could have one at your house and maybe one at a vacation home. But my first intention was to make it a boardroom table.
So this could be used, somebody who might be an alumnus would be interested in this, a big Clemson football fan, maybe the university. What do you think about the idea of bringing in recruits to sign their, intention papers at this table at the athletic department?
I mean, it would twist my arm. I would sign if I was an athlete and from high school and thinking about it, and then knew the history of this tree. That'd be great. Yeah.
Is this table for sale?
It is.
Price point?
We don't know. We don't know what to put it out. I thought about that. I just can't put a number on it. So what we're going to do is put it on auction starting Monday morning at 8 o'clock at the website, ClemsonOakTree.com. Is that right? Yeah. 8 o'clock Monday morning. It'll run until October 31st, and then we'll make a decision what we're going to do.
Is that also on eBay, or can they get to that site?
Yeah, it's on eBay. There's, Palmer, how are we going to get that information out? We're going to.
It should be on your website.
It'll be on the website, yeah. Go to
ClemsonOakTable.com, and the platform will be handled by eBay.
That's right.
Good.
So next Monday.
It starts on Monday morning, 8 o'clock. Yeah.
All right.
So reserve or
There
started?
is. There'll be a reserve on it. And we'll just see what happens.
Do you know what the reserve is? I mean,
Yeah, I do, because I put it on there, yeah.
is it known? Some are.
Carol, is it known, or do we,
I'm sorry?
the reserve is not known, right? I mean,
It's not known to buyers, no.
Right.
Yeah. What about a crowdsourcing, purchase for this kind of table? That the whole Tiger Nation rises up and says, we want to throw in together, buy this and donate it to the university. I mean, is that a possibility too?
Oh, absolutely, I think that would be a great idea. I mean, who would want this tree to leave their campus? I mean, the tree died the day it was cut, and it lives again, obviously. But it's something I wanted to preserve, and I would love someone to have this. Like I said, if not the university, my whole point of making this table was to give it back to the university or an alumni who would love to have it. I just do this for a living, and I saw the potential in it, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it after I heard the story.
What would you say to a Clemson fan who says, how did this table end up in the hands of an NC State guy?
Just fortunate, just my luck. Right place, the right time, I guess.
And will this table be on display throughout the weekend?
It will. It'll be here in the conference center till Sunday about noon.
Right, okay.
If anybody wants to come by and see it, we'll be here.
Any other questions?
I think you stated that your dream was to have a wealthy alum buy it and donate it to the campus. And that way they'd have a substantial tax write-off.
That could be too, yeah. I mean, there's several possibilities of what to do with it. Absolutely.
Well, there's only one table.
The only one that I know is going to be sold. Everybody else took theirs home because they're alumni, they're keeping theirs. So this tree meant a lot to a lot of people, and I'm sure there's talk about the other pieces out there. I know there's some ink pens going around that were made from some of the branches of the trees, and it says the Clemson Oak. And some of the folks here at Clemson own some of those pens. I know that.
Okay. Well, if there are not any more questions, I think we're done. If you want to have an individual interview